In 1908, the first Model T rolled off the assembly line, and the birth of mass production began. It wasn't that far away in New Canaan, where John Edward Hersom also had an idea for mass production. Now, 100 years later, July 25, 2008, marks the 100th anniversary of the first New Canaan Advertiser. The idea started with the baseball team and lack of coverage in the local press, the New Canaan Messenger. John, his team members, and the community wanted that coverage. This baseball bat, his uniform of the New Canaans, a fairly fast team for its day, are seen here. John had learned his trade as a printer's devil and typesetter for the Messenger and its editor-publisher Will Kirk. By age 16, he hand-set the type for this snowbound edition of the Messenger, describing the horrific storm that struck New Canaan and the region March 12, 1888. John Hersom, besides managing the baseball team, was tax collector, clerk of the borough, president of the New Canaan Fire Company No. 1, and a member of the town band. The birth of the Advertiser occurred Saturday, July 25, 1908, and was distributed free to all takers. The fledgling publication, all 8 by 11 inches of it, gained the support of several establishments that purchased advertisements. It was printed on this foot-treadle press. Mr. Hersom's news gathering about his friends and residents of the small town were detailed each week, and the little paper grew in popularity and soon commanded a price. 2 cents a copy. It not only grew in popularity, it grew in size, immediately picking up on John Hersom's motto, "Grow or Go." New equipment driven by leather belts provided for larger sheet sizes. He didn't scrimp on the paper he used in those first years, and as a result, many copies are well preserved to this day. Cramped for space, John moved his operation from the reading room January 1, 1911, across Elm Street into the Green Building. 3 men and a child are pictured standing in front of the space, which was called home for the next 16 years. They are believed to be Sigbert Brinkerhoff, advertising director, John Hersom, editor-publisher, Louis Griebel, and the youngster is V. Donald Hersom Sr. The Advertiser continued its growth to a full-size publication with several pages and gained recognition in both the state and nation. By 1926, John found his rent escalating, and he decided to build his own structure further up the street, described as next west of the Playhouse. In early years, it was 45 Elm Street, and the telephone number was 103. Seen here is the duplex flatbed press, installed in 1927. That building is now 105 Elm Street and the home of Soleil and Potpourri Designs by Lynn Evans. Awards came as early as 1919, and several times beginning in 1934, the Advertiser was named Best Weekly in the United States by its peers in the National Editorial Association. John Hersom died in 1949, and the Advertiser published a drawing by Beck, "So long, Chief, we'll carry on." And carry on they did. In 1956, a contest between general excellence winners and all circulation groups for 5 years, the Advertiser was named Best of the Best. As part of the recognition of that top award and the celebration, the Advertiser's 50th anniversary in 1958 pictures several of the staff. Editor Ed Krastowski and compositor Frank Lepak put the finishing touches on the last pages of a Thursday paper circa 1970. Chuck Reddy appears with Don Hersom Jr., Krastowski, and Lepak admiring an award certificate standing by the editor's desk. Krastowski was named editor in January 1961 and won Best Weekly of the National Newspaper Association in his first year and continues as editor emeritus today. Where John Hersom's beginnings were humble with a foot-powered press to a big flatbed press in 1927, the move to Vitti Street in 1972 and the conversion to phototype and now computer has been something that would have startled the founder. The generous use of color would be another surprise to him. The spirit of John Hersom maintains the character of the New Canaan Advertiser, your newspaper. Its editors through the years, John Hersom, Louis Rowan, Carlton Hill, Ed Krastowski, John Kovach, and now Laura Kenyon, all understand and cling to those ideals. And those ideals have shown nothing but success. John Hersom, his son V. Donald Hersom Sr., grandson V. Donald Hersom Jr., now publisher and great-grandchildren Martin V. Hersom, Mary Ann Hersom, are now actively responsible for the publication of 19 newspapers and 4 shoppers, plus 2 printing plants. John Hersom would be proud. Even as the Advertiser celebrates its 100th birthday, it's still in its infancy, venturing into new territory and guided still by the motto of its founder, "Grow or Go."